Hey gang, Jake here. Smash Bros is famous for a lot of things, but I think one of the biggest is the diversity of movesets. There's all kinds of archetypes represented, and most of them are really dang fun. But in terms of representing the characters themselves, a few challengers leave something to be desired. Of those fighters though, I don't think there's a character whose moveset has gotten quite as much vitriol as Sonic has. Despite the Blue Blur's speed, he's never actually been able to escape the rush job toolkit he got in Brawl. And both Sonic fans and Smash fans still ponder what could have been to this day. But hey, it's an unprecedented time for Sonic. With Frontier's updated combat mechanics, he's got more to pull from than ever, and plenty of people are already talking about the ways that he could get an upgrade should he get an invite for next time. So I want to throw my hat into the ring. Let's discuss what a post-Frontier Sonic moveset could do for the character. Normally there's some kind of gimmick to discuss before I break into the moves in these videos, but I want Sonic to remain relatively straightforward. He'll still be a high-speed character that focuses on getting in quick pot shots while avoiding taking hits. We just want to redesign the moves to have more of Sonic's signature style and less of his signature spin dash. First off, let's discuss the neutral special, which is one of the only moves that carries over from the current set. The homing attack is an important part of Sonic's toolkit in Frontiers, so I don't want to cut it, but I do want to adjust it. Currently, inputting the move places you in a charge animation, and pressing it again allows you to actually use the attack. Now, the move doesn't charge unless you hold the button, which should give Sonic more of an excuse to use it during combos. For the side special, let's break into some new content with the Sonic Boom. Here, Sonic will swing his legs forward for a series of 3 kicks, each of which will fire off a small and fast projectile that are helpful for keeping opponents away, in the event that Sonic needs a moment to regain composure or just wants to pressure the ledge. For the grounded down special, we'll adapt Sonic's most iconic new ability, the Psy-Loop. Upon input, Sonic will start charging a super peel out, and as he does so, a glowing blue ring will surround him and start to grow, maxing out at approximately half the width of Battlefield. When the input is released, Sonic will quickly run a circle around the area of the ring, and any opponents on the ground within that ring will be launched into the air similar to Fox Illusion. This is Sonic's primary combo starter, and it's designed to lead into homing attack for some devastating results. In the air, this move becomes a powerful stomp, which causes a shockwave upon hitting the ground and lets Sonic bounce off any opponents it hits. Lastly, to round out the specials, we'll have Sonic use Wild Rush for a recovery. This is, funnily enough, similar to Sora's Sonic Blade. Unlike that move though, Sonic's first burst of movement will go straight upwards, and the last 2 will come out significantly faster and cover much less distance, to keep Sonic from overextending. For the side smash, we'll have Sonic use this toe kick from Sonic Frontiers Showdown trailer. For the down smash, we'll use a sort of fusion of Sonic's new Cyclone kick and his down taunt. He'll coil up like a spring before launching into a stationary hurricane kick that hits on both sides. The up smash will be less than traditional, with Sonic leaping into a handstand and kicking upwards with both legs. For the nair, I'm actually going to stick to its current state. I know part of the goal of this moveset is to unfurl Sonic like a roly-poly, but the fact is, the ball is an iconic part of his design, and I think if we diversify the set as a whole, we can still afford to have a few moves that involve Sonic rolling up. For the fair, we'll have Sonic use his windmill kick from Sonic Battle. Fair warning, I'm going to draw on this game a few more times. It's a goldmine of moves, and Sonic's current moveset doesn't actually feature many from it, and I think that's a damn shame. For the bear, Sonic kicks backwards in an upwards motion that's handy for killing off the bottom of stages. Sonic's dare is already a pretty fun move, and I don't feel like it needs much adjusting. For the up air, Sonic's updraft seems like a fun way to switch up his current toolkit. For the neutral attack, we'll adapt Sonic's main combo from Frontiers, with a little more pizzazz to give it flow and forward momentum. The side tilt is honestly pretty satisfactory in its current state in my opinion. Same with the up tilt, but for the down tilt, we'll adapt Sonic's new Spin Slash for a small low hit that damages in both directions. The dash attack will reference the final hit of Sonic's Frontiers combo, with Sonic curling into a ball, rolling forward, and unfurling for a powerful dropkick. The grab, pummel, and throws are also pretty good in my book, but I want to make one change and one retroactive reference. For the forward throw, we'll give Sonic a hammer throw similar to the one he uses during the Wyvern fight. but I think it'd be neat if the animation showed that when he's not in super form, he's way less sturdy about it than a certain other fighter with a similar throw. For the down throw, I think we've already got a pretty alright drop dash on our hands, but if the momentum of Sonic spinning out on top of the opponent launched him forwards, I think that'd be pretty neat. Side note, if the up throw got adjusted to reference Sonic's quick side loop, I wouldn't be hurt, but I kinda like having at least one move where Sonic uses his quills. For Sonic's final smash, of course we've got to stick to Super Sonic, but the move's current state really does leave something to be desired. So we'll freshen it up by pulling from Frontier's iconic Titan battles. Upon being executed, the tornado would fly right in front of Sonic, which would launch opponents into the meat of the attack while Sonic grabs a hold. From there, Sonic leaps off the wing of the plane as he goes super, and blitzes the opponent from all sides before wrapping it up with one phantom rushed hook kick that sends the opponent flying back onto the stage. So just now, I mentioned an ability called the Phantom Rush, and if you don't know what that is, it's an ability from Frontiers where if Sonic racks up a high enough combo, he'll speed up his attacks and cause an afterimage that damages the opponent. I'd like to adapt that into this kit, but I'm giving it its own section because I truly have no idea how to balance it, and it might be a little too strong all things considered. Basically, we'll combine Phantom Rush from Frontiers and Air Tricks from prior games into one unique ability. Essentially, anytime Sonic is in freefall, the player can press the taunt buttons to perform air tricks, which will each be references to iconic tricks and poses from the mainline games. If Sonic manages to use all four before hitting the ground, getting hit, or dying, he'll unlock a brief boost in the form of the Phantom Rush, which will speed up his attacks and cause basic attacks to become multi-hit. This would be very short-lived, but it's designed to give players a reason to take risks and keep the fight mobile, and it can be used to dangerous effect in the right hands. Speaking of taunts, let's discuss the one Sonic can access on the ground. For the up taunt, we'll use Sonic's dance he performs when he earns an emerald in a minigame in Frontiers. For the side taunt, we'll keep this running taunt Sonic's had since Brawl, but instead of the line he spouts in 4 and Ultimate, I want to have Roger Craig Smith speak the words that the world deserves to hear.
You're too slow!
Lastly, for the down taunt, we'll have Sonic get bored, sprint away to grab a chili dog, and down it in one bite before resuming his combat stance. Side note, for Sonic's idle animation, I want to switch it out from this lax stance he's had since Brawl for a more combat/running ready stance like his battle idle from Frontiers. For the victory animations, we'll grab a few obvious picks that should have been in since Smash 4, and one that you may not expect. First, I'd like to see Sonic sprint past an Eggman goalpost as it spins and changes into a Sonic goalpost. For another, we'll give Sonic one of the iconic victory dances he's used over the years. Lastly, for a weird pick, I'd like to see Sonic catch a gear as it falls into frame, sprint over to a Cyberspace totem in the background, and leap right in. For some alternate costumes, this is a department Sonic has struggled in for years, so let's go ahead and give him access to a brand new set that changes the color of his fur to reference Tails, Knuckles, Silver, Amy, Blaze, Surge, and one final alt that gives him his Link outfit from Sonic Lost World. Finally, to round out Sonic's section, let's talk about something people have wanted in the series for years, a brand new Echo Fighter. Shadow's been a controversial pick within the Sonic fandom for an Echo Fighter slot pretty much ever since the concept was unveiled to the public. Sonic's moveset doesn't really fit for Shadow's range of abilities, and he's got a ton of potential for his own slot on the roster. Ultimately though, I think an Echo slot just makes more sense. I'd rather see the Sonic games get a new Echo than get no new faces whatsoever, and this new moveset should fit Shadow significantly more than Sonic's current kit. But just in case, I've got plenty of adjustments we could make. First off, Sonic's walk and run animations just aren't going to cut it. We'll need a brand new animation that works in Shadow's rocket skates. Beyond that, I think the specials could be updated to emphasize power over speed, like turning Wild Rush into one long multi-hit dash to reference Shadow's Hero's ability from his titular game, or switching Sonic Boom for one powerful Chaos Lance. Lastly, I'd like to give Shadow a new final smash. Instead of copying Sonic's but with Rouge or something, we'll have Shadow use Chaos Control to slow down time, leaving enemies prone as he sets up for one powerful dash. He'll take off his limiters one at a time, go super, and dash forward with a massive and dangerous attack that's practically guaranteed to kill. Also, we'd switch his taunts, idols, and victory animations to be more in character. I know by this point Shadow may as well be a semi-clone in this pitch, but honestly, I'd take either, just as long as we can see him join the battle. For a stage representing the Sonic games, we've got a bit of a toughie on our hands. The current stages, Green Hill Zone and Windy Hill Zone, are both a little weak in my opinion. So we want a new stage that reps Frontiers, but I'd also like to see one that can do the more classic games some justice. There's really only one location that can do both, and while Frontiers players may hate to hear it, I'm gonna have to give the win to Cyberspace. My vision for this stage is to be Sonic's answer to Mario Maker. We'll have a number of stage formations that the stage can take on the fly, and they'll all be displayed using the aesthetics of either Green Hill, Chemical Plant, or Sky Sanctuary. We could even throw some other stages on top, like maybe City Escape or Planet Wisp, but I wouldn't want to push it. I think a stage like this doesn't necessitate a cameo, but seeing Sage show up and start shifting cyberspace to add or remove platforms could make for a really entertaining stage for casual play. As for music, it's pretty hard to go wrong with Sonic, but I'm certain there's going to be some I missed, so let me know in the comments what y'all want to see. For an assist trophy, I think Knuckles holding down the fort works pretty well, but Tails also has plenty to bring to the table. Upon being summoned, I'd have him fly around and help fight off opponents, but his potential would really shine when you find yourself off stage. If you fall to a point where you can't recover, Tails will fly towards you and bring you back to the stage. It only works if he can get to you in time though, and he can still get smacked around, so you don't want to treat it recklessly. For collectibles, it's honestly pretty hard to argue with Ultimate's current lineup, but I'd love to see some for the Frontiers bosses, Sage, and maybe even some teams, like Team Sonic, Team Dark, and the Babylon Rogues. Lastly, let's round this off with a boss battle, and there's really no way I can pitch this ethically without fitting Eggman into the mix. This fight would put Dracula's two phases to shame, as Eggman switches up his strategy 3 times to keep opponents on their toes. First off, you'll have to face Eggman in his Egg Walker mech from Sonic Adventure 2. After that doesn't work out, he'll get help from Metal Sonic to blitz you with powerful and speedy attacks. When that fails, Sage will join in to help, summoning powerful projectiles from Eggman's Egg Fleet. Lastly, to round out the fight, all 3 will team up to try to flatten any opposition that stands in their way. And there you have it, just about everything I can pitch for the Sonic series. I am writing this very early to put off working on finals, so I'm going to keep this brief, but I want to say thanks for the positive reception of these videos. It's really nice to have the option to talk about stuff like this, and even if nothing comes of it, it's a relaxing hobby. I'm going to get back to work on some big essays though. Peace out.